Well, Brian, it's really nice to meet you. We got that email from your wife, basically talking about some of the issues you're having.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just summarize them for us.
Well, Mike, I've been having some weird back issues when I get back home from work. And I'm thinking it's because I spend so much time in front of the computer in my chair, and I'm there all day, you know, other than like taking a break every now and again. And yeah, so it's, I kind of need some help with that.
Well, a lot of us now do spend most of our time in front of computers, so let's go check out your workspace and see what's happening.
Okay.
Well, clearly Brian has a lot of issues. Maybe we can solve some of them today with his workspace. I've got a special guest. She's an ergonomic expert. Her name is Mandy Gallant from ErgoRisk. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So we had a look at some of the problems with his workspace, and we've hopefully solved some of them. So maybe we can just go through some of the main ones.
Sure. Well, I always like to start with the chair, because if the person's not sitting from a good base of support, nothing else matters.
Does the cap have anything to do with it?
No, the cap is a nice touch,
okay.
Yes. It's more the angle. Brian's certainly leaning back, the chair's a little low, he's been really hunching forward to his work, which would account for his discomforts. So Brian, let's adjust this chair. I'm going to get you up a little bit higher here. Have a seat. I'm also going to adjust the backrest to give you a little more support. So we'll straighten that up, and we'll raise the height of it so it gives you a bit more support in your low back.
Okay.
Now this chair also has a feature that will lengthen the seat pan. The levers on the front of the chair, if you want to give that a shot, just sliding the chair forward a little bit. That will make it a better fit for you, being a taller user.
Did you even know that your chair could adjust this much?
No, not at all.
You know what, that's a good point. There are a lot of great chairs out there. If
Yeah.
people don't know how to adjust them or don't know what the chair does, it doesn't offer
I just know
the
how to
appropriate
adjust
support.
mine up and down, and that's about
That is an important point.
Yeah.
I'll tackle the armrests next, because I do want to give you support for that shoulder and upper back. So we'll raise them up a little bit. Have your arm there, and that chair should be feeling much more comfortable. What do you think?
Yeah, it feels great.
Good. I've got another option here. This is a footrest. Now, for Brian with his height, we don't necessarily need a footrest over the long term, but as a change of position, this is great. This one is adjustable. You have a few different positions that we can lock into, and I'll give you that, Brian. So you can slide that under the desk a little bit.
That one's kind of cool. I've tried that one before. It's got the kind of the squishy foam on there, so it's
It
kind
is,
of, you can massage
yeah.
your feet while you're using it.
It's a nice option. We've also installed a keyboard tray here for Brian. So that has brought his keyboard and mouse down to a more appropriate height. Things were just much too high on the desk. Now what we want is that elbow height is roughly at the height of the keyboard and mouse. So Brian, I'm going to pop you up a tiny bit higher here. Okay, and slide in. And now this should feel a lot more comfortable for working with a lot better support. What do you think?
Yeah, it feels really nice.
This has like cleared up a ton of space on his desk as well.
Absolutely, and the nice thing about trays, apart from getting things down where you need them, they do open up a lot more desk space. And some trays are height adjustable as well, so that you can have different heights for different users if it's a shared workspace.
This is part of Kensington's Smart Fit system. They've got a system here. You basically put your hand on this paper, and depending how large your hand is, you follow the color coding to find out the exact adjustments for it as well.
Well, that leads into what we were saying before. If you buy a piece of ergonomic equipment, slap it on the desk, it doesn't necessarily do you any favors unless it's adjusted to fit.
So we've also installed a monitor arm here. I actually have one on my desk. It's great for collaborating because you can basically put the monitor wherever you want, and it gives you a lot of range as far as where you can have that monitor.
Absolutely, and we set this at the right height for Brian. I noticed as well you were hunching forward, squinting a little bit, so with a product like this, we can put it far away, bring it close so that it really suits your vision. So go ahead and tuck in there, back in your chair. How does that feel?
Feels really good.
Do you notice a big difference?
Yeah, I do find like with my spine being straight, it's like I feel more alert, more awake.
More alert. Because that used to be a big problem. You'd be like asleep on your desk by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. So another big thing for me, and I think so many people do this, we sit in front of our computer for hours at a time.
Absolutely. I mean, the equipment is really 50% of it. The other 50% is how the worker interacts with it. Are they taking their breaks? Are they doing stretches?
And obviously, while we're doing this, we've freed up a ton of desk space, but more importantly, what we're trying to do is prevent workplace injury as well.
Absolutely. And we've set the equipment now in such a way that Brian has a reduced risk of stress to his neck and upper back.
So we have basically shown up just in time to save Brian from being crippled for life.
I think that's pretty accurate, just in time.
And this just might make him more popular as well.
There you go.
Mandy from ErgoRisk, an ergonomic consulting company, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
And Brian, we want you to stick around because we've got some more issues that we want to help you out with. Learn to love your desk again. Organize Your Desk Day is coming on October 21st. So be sure to use these tips you've just seen and other tips available at organizeyourdeskday.com.